What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I bring to you my new posing showcase featuring Hot Toys MMS 614 Shang-Chi from the film Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I gotta tell you guys, this one has been a fun one. My family and I love the film. It's full of fun, adventure, heart, and introduced a very exciting new hero into the MCU as far as I'm concerned. Simu Liu really stepped up and brought a physicality and believability to the role which I think added to the viewing experience, and I loved it. So much so that this posing showcase is just one of two showcases I'll be making with Shang-Chi on the channel. For this one, I wanted to explore with many different things with him, including some iconic moments from the film, some martial arts fighting stances, heroic character poses, and a few creative ones to boot. The second, which is coming soon, will be him versus his father Wenwu, where I'll recreate moments from their battle at the end of the film, ending in what I think will be my desired long-term display option for both figures in the collection. For today, including the intro and outro, we have a total of 12 scenes, and just a reminder that in my showcases I use multiple figures and or accessories to help tell the story, not included with the figure. Lastly, don't forget, if you like my content, hit that like button, hit the notification bell and subscribe to the channel. But now, with that, you know what we do. Scene number 1, we have Bus Boy. The come at me moment from the bus fight. That whole bus sequence was so epic and such a great way to showcase him to start the film. So this was literally the first pose I wanted to start with. In the movie, you don't see his lower body when he does this stance, so I've gone with what I think it could have been, but to be fair, there are so many different tweaks you can make with the stance to make it suit what you like visually. I will say, I personally think this could be a popular long-term display option on the shelf. However, because the sleeves bunch up in the joints when you bend his arm, much like I am with the left arm here, I'm fairly certain you'll get material damage, and if you leave it long term, it could be bad. Something to be mindful of with this figure when posing the arms. Scene number 2, and for this one, I've gone with a similar pose to the first, yet when examined closely, you'll see that this time I've stepped up the degree of difficulty and have him in a much more dynamic stance. With that, I've reposed his left arm and switched from a fist to open hand. I've changed his angles by adding more torso twist and side crunch, lowered his stance by opening up his hips and stretching out his legs. This will be more evident when you see him go around on the turntable. Honestly, I could easily just leave him in fighting stances like this on the shelf, but the problem with this guy is I feel his posing options are endless and I can't settle on just one. This is quite a stressful pose on parts of the material, so again, be mindful if you're considering leaving him posed like this for a long period. Scene number 3. And continuing with the martial arts pose theme here, we have Sean balancing on one leg, showing his range, confidence, and athleticism. For this one, I wanted to experiment with also displaying him with his base to show you what you can do with him as he comes in the box. As he goes around on the turntable, you'll see I have a flight pole hidden behind him here so he can ever so slightly lean onto it to help him hold the pose and make him a bit more safe like this. I think he is really suited for displaying these types of martial arts poses. He articulates well enough and has good enough balance, which really help to bring these types of looks to life. Let me know what you think of this one in the comments down below. Scene number 4. And for this one, I wanted to recreate a look from the film after he tackled Death Dealer in the high rise. It was kind of a ground pound superhero landing type stance. Anyway, it started out like that, but as I posed him around a bit, I decided to bring in this base for him to interact with and spice it up with an extra element. I really enjoy attempting poses like this with figures, and I think Shang-Chi pulls off this look nicely. One thing I have been thinking about is with this type of pose is you can really change the feel of the whole pose by where you have the right arm. Kicked out and back more implies a completely different look than having his right arm in and tight to the body like it is here. Something to play around with yourself next time you attempt a grounded look like this. Scene number 5. Here we have Shang-Chi just being a boss. For this one, I was looking at poses of people using staffs and came across a guy doing this with a staff, so I thought, perfect, let's give it a go. Now, I didn't want to use a stand for this one, but I could not get him to balance, so I started thinking about using this base and hiding the flight pole. But as I tried to find a spot to put him on, I noticed he balanced here with his foot wedged between the last two pillars. That's how this scene came about. It's not something I would expect other people to do in their displays, but this is something more I wanted to just try to create to see how it would look and then do some photography. You know, photographing scenes like this, that's half the fun about making these videos for me. Scene number 6, and a big shout out to the artist himself, Mr. Renz Tolentino, for the inspiration on this one. Whilst making this video, Renz sent me some martial arts poses that I could try, and there was a pose very similar to this look here with a guy balancing on his staff looking up. I thought it looked really cool and dynamic, yet calm and balanced at the same time, so I had to give it a go. And this is my attempt, Shang-Chi balancing on his staff, alert and ready for action. I will say though, this pose does not look too great from some angles when it goes around on the turntable because of how it's done. But from front on, if this is how he is on my shelf, I think it's a pretty fun way to display him in the collection. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Scene number 7. And for this one, I wanted to incorporate the flaming effects with the attachable rings. And whilst they are a bit heavy, I really like how they look when on him. I've put him back on this base and I'm really loving how well he balances on it as well. He held up great on this, even with the extra weight of the effects on him. One other thing I like about these effects is they help hide the joint spots on the wrist and elbows, and if you pose him at the right angle in your display with these on, the eyesores are no longer an issue. In the end, for me, the fun of creating and displaying what this figure can do far outweighs the size of the joints, to be honest. Plus, 10 out of 10 for the accessories that come with this guy too. They're awesome. Scene number 8. Another attempt at using the accessories, but this time mix and matching the flame effect on the right arm and using a blast effect with the left hand as they both have 5 rings aside. For this one, my idea was to have him in a very dynamic pose, interacting with the base in a different way. So here I have him using the blast effect in his left hand to blast down, helping propel him over the ledge as he hops up and over. Then we have the 5 rings following along on the right hand as he comes toward us. I think this scene is definitely more suited for photography, so you can capture it from the right angles, as I will say it's not a very strong look from most angles, especially on the turntable. I do, however, think it works from this angle right here. What do you guys think? Hit or miss? Let me know in the comments down below. Scene number 9. And for this one, I came back to a previous pose I'd been trying to do but couldn't get and gave up on a few days earlier. I'm probably most proud of this pose in the showcase, and it's definitely a look I'd consider leaving him in long term in my display. The first time I tried to do it, I just couldn't get the angles right no matter what I did, so I gave up and moved on. But then I just kept thinking and thinking, I need to pull off a Van Damme-esque type of pose in this video. It's a must. So I had another go and I finally got this. I really think he looks great in these types of poses, and I love how the arms with the rings look as well. They will be the ones I use in my display, most definitely. Scene number 10. Shang-Chi blasting a table in half with some rings, just cause. This scene literally came about as I came across this little wooden table which, to be fair, is nearly 1/6 scale, and I got to thinking about how to incorporate it into a pose. I remembered Wenwu splitting a table in the film, and I thought, why not try that with Shang-Chi? For the pose, I have Sean blasting down through the table, which from this angle I think works to convey the point. But in hindsight, after speaking with my guy Anthony from the Figure Posing channel, shout out to you brother, I should have taken my time and made some adjustments and enhanced the scene before filming it. I think with some flair and attention to detail, you could create a really cool scene with a few extra tables and a bit more battle damage to them added to sell the scene and make the impact of the rings work a bit better for this. I will definitely redo this down the road with some tweaks and maybe add in him throwing Wenwu through the table, so look out for that. Okay guys, the outro. And to close this one out, we have Shang-Chi and Captain America in a possible future team up coming soon to the channel and most likely the MCU too. We have Sean just being cool, wielding the rings, with Sam hovering in from above. Another reason for adding Sam in here is because he will most likely be my next posing showcase on the channel, so stay tuned for that. I'm super excited to explore display options for him. For Shang-Chi, I must say this showcase has been a lot of fun to make, and exploring these poses with him has been very creatively rewarding for me. I cannot wait to get Wenwu in and work on creating fight sequences with both these figures. But until then, that's it, guys and girls. I thank you all for tuning in, and if you haven't already done so, do us a favor, hit that like button, notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. Lastly, we got reviews and unboxings, story-styled posing showcases, live streams including my shows Posed Up, where I interview fellow collectors and content creators whilst posing up figures for fun, plus the rundown that I co-host with my guy Anthony from the Figure Posing channel, where we deep dive into film and TV. But for now, until next time, live life, have fun, and keep posing. I'm out.